Verse says to walk the path, you need three things. Rastare chalibak gole tinta jinsh darkar. To walk the path, you need three things. First, a goal. Without a goal, any movement becomes random. He gives the example of somebody going up and down in the hill for the whole day. Has he progressed? No. Because he has been simply going to and fro. And you have seen in the oil mill, the bullocks or the buffaloes, they go round. But they don't cover a distance. So to walk the path, you need a destination. Baba calls it, is very fond of this desideratum, goal, ultimate goal. There are immediate goals, but the immediate goals lead to the ultimate goal. So first of all, we need a goal. The humanity today is completely lost in wilderness because they have goallessness. The present youth, ajir jubak samaj udhranta, कारण ता लक्ष्य किछ नै कोन करिवे. Development is somewhere lost in confusion because development doesn't have clarity about the goal. What the development for? Can you have only urban habitations at the cost of ecology? You have big buildings, but you don't have pure oxygen to breathe. You have big towns, but you don't have pure water to drink. Despite all the technology, the soil is not conducive or supportive for the growth of plants. The survival becomes a big question. Despite all the scientific and technological development, that means development is goalless. So, to walk on the path, whether it is a social movement or a science and technology or a political movement, politicians don't have a sense of goal. He says that to walk the path, you need a goal. But having goal is not enough. Suppose I have the knowledge about the goal that there is Konark or Puri or the Qutub Minar. Only knowledge of goal will not help. Unless you book a ticket and take the journey and walk the path. So, the success of a journey depends upon, first of all, you need to have a destination. But mere knowledge is not enough. Suppose I know many things about Mukhya, the Brahman, the liberation, Mukti, Mukhya. Knowledge about it, that you are conversant with this, is not enough unless you make effort to achieve it. That is why there is Lakshya, there is Gati. Gati is the third thing Baba says is, there is Gati. Gati is not enough. Gati is Dhruti. That means there has to be acceleration. You have to move expeditiously. Because once I know my goal, Bhubaneswar, the earlier I reach, the better, isn't it? I avoid the troubles of or the arduousness of the journey in between. So, Gati se Dhruti. Suppose Gati Dhruti, and says another thing is Chanda. And this Gati, in that moment, there is need to be a rhythm. Why? What is the need of rhythm? Now you see, suppose I run from here to a place of stay, I get exhausted in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, isn't it? Suppose I go to Pendal running to attend the Akhand Kirtan for 1 year, so I get exhausted. But a dancer, you will see in the evening, our dancers dance continuously 2 hours. They don't get tired. Why? Because there is a rhythm in the moment. So Gati se Dhruti se Chanda. Movement, acceleration in the moment, and there has to be rhythm. You must enjoy. So the sound is coming somehow. But somehow the two things cannot go together. So What I'm forgetting. So gati, gatite, druti, drutite, chanda. Three things are necessary. Three things he outlines. And there is a goal, of course. But having fixed the goal, you need to move, and the movement has to be acceleration. There has to be expedited, and there is every possibility to get exhausted. You become a spent force. That is why it is necessary that you must enjoy the work, movement. Just as a dancer dances for 2 hours, there is perspiration, but they don't become so tired that they are not fit for the next dance item. You will see in the evening. Continuously they dance, the children dance because they are also practicing. They dance for 2 hours because there is a movement with rhythm, with mudras, with chanda, and they enjoy it. The mother takes so much of trouble from morning to Indian mother, from morning to dusk, morning to night, but she doesn't feel tired. Bringing up the children and making food for the husband and for the taking care of the mother-in-law, because she enjoys it. Doing things for a child, even if she keeps awake for the whole night, but she doesn't complain because she is doing for her own child. She is enjoying the work. So these three things are necessary. Now we have today. This is, I am quoting Baba so that it gives a canvas, a background. Now we are discussing about Ista, Adarsha and Samgha. That is a mission and vision, they come in the ideology, they are part of it. Now, they are actually not three, but they are three in one. Not just two in one, three in one. Ista, Adarsha and Samgha organization. They are three in one. If you take out one thing, the other remains incomplete. If there is only Ista, there is no Adarsha, there is no ideology, Ista remains an idea, an abstraction in the level of concept. We can read, we can enjoy. So Ista without Adarsha remains a mere abstraction. And Adarsha without Ista is without a direction, without inspiration. And Ista and Adarsha without Samgha remains still untranslatable ideal. Ideal is still, Ista is an abstraction without ideology. That becomes concretized when you have an ideology. And that is really realized in concrete terms, concrete reality through an organization. We will see how they are connected. What is the connect among the three? Now this ideology, what is an ideology in nutshell? Ideology tells us, it tries to create a roadmap to walk on the path. You see, to walk on the path, you need to have a roadmap. Suppose you have a roadmap to go to some place, you must know what are the rivers, what are the bridges, what are the difficult terrains, what are the... What is difficult terrains? So accordingly, because last night, first night we came from Bokaro, then our friends, Pemendra was asking, we were asking the driver that I was there, is it a rough road or an even road? See, some road rough. Is there any way why we can go without any rough road? We have to come through villages, a lot of jerking, a lot of humps and all that. So, the ideology lays out the roadmap. Yes, this is where I stand. This is the path. These are the obstructions on the path. These are the facilitations on the path. If you go to Delhi to Jaipur, there are facility centers and all that. So you must have an idea. If there is some food, vegetarian, why should you carry the food? So ideology in nutshell gives you a clarity about the roadmap. What is the nature of the goal? What are your strengths and limitations? Suppose I don't have enough money, I cannot fly, isn't it? According to sadhana, you can go, isn't it? So ideology spells out the details about the goal. In other words, the ideology, Adarsha always reminds you what is your goal. If you are without ideology, you are goalless. You don't have a sense of goal. So any movement will not make progress. Suppose I start walking, my goal is to go to the washroom, I'm going this way, I'm going away from a destination. If my goal is our dining room, then I have to go this way. So it is the goal which fixes the direction. So ideology, by fixing the goal, defines the direction. This is where I stand, this is the direction I go, destination or desideratum or the culminating point of my journey. So this draws the direction. If my direction is changed, if the goal is changed, direction will be different. So Adarsha tells us what is the ultimate goal, maybe what are the immediate goals, what are the different stations before we reach there, and the modalities of how to undertake the journey. Now, how to undertake the journey will depend on your strength and limitations. Suppose I am a human being, I have to negotiate the distance between manhood and Brahmahood, manhood and Godhood, my journey from this point to that. What are my limitations? I have propensities, vrittis, which draw me backward, push and pull because of my life in the past, sanskaras, prarabdha, push and pull of prarabdha. There is a pull from the below, at the same time, there is an attraction from the above, cosmic nucleus. So man is caught between push and pull. Pull of the gravitational, the downward pull of the propensities, vrittis, sahajata pravrittis and mental vrittis. Pravritti is instincts. Now, and vrittis. There are some vrittis which make my mind, take my mind outward and they pull me down. Why? Because I have lived so many lives in the non-human existence. If you live for quite some time in north, you will say East Station. Scholarships of these, now you can know that he is a North Indian. And if you say, now you see, if you stay in Berhampur, from conversation we can know that he is from Berhampur. Accent, intonation. So wherever you say, now if you go to South India, we don't enjoy sambar, a sour, chili, because he is conditioned to one kind of thing. No? So because we have lived through animal lives, different lives, so there is a downward pull, natural. At the same time, there is a natural, this pull from above. So we are divided, caught between conflicts. So if that is so, then what we are doing, ideology is telling you, look, if you are going there, there are certain constraints and there are certain facilitators. We have a soul within which always pines for completeness. Yesterday we discussed there are three kinds of hunger. Man has a body, physical hunger, desire for food and drink, sleep and all that. We have psychic hunger, because of which we ask questions, try to find answers. And in the process we have science, technology, philosophy and religion. If man would not have asked questions, then perhaps science would not have been possible. Why rain? Why earthquake? Why day and night? Finding answers to this is a mental hunger. Man will always say, why? Why man is trying to explore what is there in the other side of the planet? It's a tendency to ask questions, to find answers. Mental hunger. Spiritual hunger is desire for completeness. Wherever you are, whatever you have, you want still more and still more. So the discontentment, silent. So the perpetual discontentment is, can anyone in this world, including Bill Gates, Ajit Premji, anyone say, or the President of India say that I don't need anything. One who is MLA wants to be a minister, cabinet wants to go. So you see, you are never satisfied with what you have because you do not want something finite, you want infinite. That is why anything less than infinite, anything sort of infinite, you are discontented. So the perpetual discontentment of man with anything he has, however great, however rich one may be, or however fulfilled one may be, one feels emptiness within. This is called Purnata Bhitare Sunyata. Poverty in the plenitude. Poverty in the plenty. So the plenty has also its pitfalls. When you have many things, your assets become liability. It's a paradox. It's a paradox. You want to have more, still more, still more. You have everything, but you don't have sleep. You don't have contentment. You don't have peace. You don't have happiness. For which everything is, you acquired everything. Some things go wrong. So our movement is, so that is a Prabhat Sangeet. It's a mystical song. Devotees telling Lord, Tomai ami nai jani, tabu tomai bhalobasi. What a wonderful, it's a mystical song. He's unable to understand. Because supposing I have a smartphone, I have a number phone, a smartphone. Oh, I wish I had a number phone. A tribal man who has never gone to college and never seen a smartphone cannot have a desire for a smartphone. A person who has not tasted Dilli Ka Laddu cannot have a desire, I should have a Dilli Ka Laddu. A person who has not seen a very good car, better car, icon, he manages it because whatever he has. So our desire for things is created in us by the object. Why do I want a smartphone? Because a smartphone, I wish that. So my desire for the worldly things is created in me by those things. But why is it that I want infinite? Have you come across infinite? No one has seen infinite. Everything is in the world infinite. But why do you have that infinite? Why do you want to get the infinite? Why do you want Ananta? So the Prabhat Sangeet, it is said that Tomai ami nai jani. I do not know you. Tabu tomai bhalobasi. What a strange thing, what a mystical thing. How can I love someone whom I have never seen? Tomai ami nai jani, I don't know you. I know not, the English is, I know not who you are or what you are. Even then, tabu, there is word tabu. Even then, that is very significant, tabu. I know not, because normally we desire things which you know. But I do not know you, O Lord, but why I love you so much? We have never encountered Ananta, infinite, as in the world of finites. All that we come across is finite. Tomai ami nai jani, tabu tomai bhalobasi. There are many mystical songs. Bishwa jakhan hoyni takhan, tumi chile, kon kane bolo, tumi chilo, kar mane. Where were you when the world was not? These are mystical songs in Prabhat Sangeet. There is a thesis on mysticism of Prabhat Sangeet. When nothing was there, what was your locus? In whose mind you were there? In whose heart you were there? There was no space, no time. So where did you exist? Vishwa jakhan hoyni takhan, tumi chilo, kar mane bolo, tumi chilo kon, place and time, place and person. So the answer is, even though I have not seen you, you are in me. Why? Because I have come from you. So the desire for infinite is triggered by the soul within, which is potentially infinite. The whole existence is a fallout from the infinity. Whatever you see, the plants, animals, the flora, fauna, stones, mountains, everything has got from one source, infinite. So there is a tendency of the finite to be restored in the infinite. Christians call it homecoming. Homecoming. We are back home. This is a temporary home. Our permanent abode is there. Because from there we have come, again we are going back. We are halfway. Manhood is halfway. So all sadhana, all yoga, all practices, all ideology is nothing but a path from this to that. Humanhood to cosmic hood. So ideology spells out a roadmap, because till now there is no need of roadmap. Yesterday we discussed. Because animals and birds are being attracted by the cosmic nucleus. Their evolution is guaranteed. There is no fall. in three pravachans, Baba said that they don't have a chance of retardation because they are being attracted by the cosmic nucleus. When you attain human status, you are conscious of the goal and you can make additional effort to reach the goal and expedite the journey. So when you are conscious of the goal, then you expedite the journey, you can go accelerated way with greater pace towards that, and you enjoy it. So this is, we'll again come back to ideology. This is all ideology is about. Now, who can show you the path? Who can spell out the path? Who can chatter the path? Only one who has seen the path, isn't it? One who has seen the path can show the path, can help you to walk the path, isn't it? Suppose you are going to a forest. You do not know what are the ways and byways, lanes and bylanes. Like Bhulbhulaiya in Lucknow, you get lost. You are moving around, again you are in the place where you started. So we need a forester who has seen the way through the path, who has lived in the forest, who has seen outside the forest. So there is need of, so one who has seen the path can chatter the path. Here comes the role of Guru. Guru is not Ista. There is a subtle difference in Guru and Ista. When one realizes Guru, or there is mantra siddhi, the same Guru you discover as Ista. Okay. So Guru comes. Now, how can I, suppose I want to show you. Suppose there is a forester who is a disembodied, cannot show you the path. To work hand in hand, he has to speak in a language you understand. Baba used to speak in, yesterday I could not tell that story, where Baba talking to plants. You know it about or not? But let me also tell you, because anything relating to Baba become refreshing, that gives us inspiration. One day Baba sent in Tiljala, when Baba sent his PA for some work in the town. Then security was sent to Howrah station to get flowers. Then G.S. Sarvatananda was there, naturally PA said, be with Baba. Somebody has to be with Baba. So Baba went upstairs for work. Sarvatananda is accompanying him because Baba himself has sent PA to some work. Then security is sent for some flowers to the Howrah. So Sarvatananda is with him. All of a sudden Baba said, go and tell one central secretary, give this news to him. He should be ready before reporting. Then Sarvatananda is reluctant, because how can I leave Baba alone? Baba is in the upstairs. How can I leave Baba there? But since Baba is saying, no, go quickly. So Baba was alone. But he, in 7 minutes, went to the other building, came running. While before the first step upstairs, then I find he heard Baba is telling something to someone. Then Sarvatananda is wondering, just now I left and there is no, and gate there is security. Personal security not there. But how someone could come here in 7 minutes? So he, through the opening of the door, he looked at the Baba is talking to, there is a champa, there are many flowers. Baba is talking to in some language which is unintelligible, he doesn't understand. Then Baba is waving his hand and the flowers are also waving. There is no wind. I have heard it from Sarvatananda, so that I have put it in the book for talking to plants. He is talking in some very, but he could not understand what is the language. Then Baba is waving his hand like this, and the flowers are also, there is no wind. If Baba would give his ideology in that language, would you understand? Could there be a seminar on it? Sanchara, Pratisanchara, Ista, Adarsha, Brahma, Microvita, Proud. These are all given in a language which you can understand. So, there has to be someone who speaks in a language, and there is someone who has seen the path, can show the path and take us along the path to the other side of the path. That is, it is said, Guru Tarak Brahma exists in a tangential point. Saguna and Nirguna, bridge between the two. He has a body, he is born to a mother, he has to grow, he has all the phenomenal, things, that a mortal undergoes. But though he has a human body, he doesn't have the limitations of the body. There is a difference between the body of Sadguru and our body. Our body is prarabdha sarira. The nature of the body, the color of the body, you read Jainism, there is a detailed discussion about it. The color of the body, the place where you are born, quantum of happiness and sorrow, everything is determined by your past karma. I have migraine, my brother doesn't have migraine. Because though we have shared the same uterine space, same education, but he carries his karma, I carry my karma. I am more vulnerable, susceptible to migraine, but he is not. Though we are born in the same family, we have our own karmic chain, karmic line. I forgot. What is that? Ability. Yes, I'm forgetting. So, yes, Guru's body and Sadguru's body. But Sadguru's body is not a prarabdha sarira, but it is sankalpa sarira. He has taken the body with a resolve, mission. So the ideology he gives, Ista gives, is his mission. Result of his resolve. Resolve means sankalpa. Sankalpa, okay. Now, the Adarsha which you find, that is the expression, articulation, rational articulation of his sankalpa. He comes with a mission, and because there is a necessity. Jada jadai dharmasya. He comes again, and jada jadai means he comes again and again. When? Whenever there is a need, necessity. Human beings cannot manage their affairs. There is Cimmerian darkness, Baba says, Cimmerian darkness. We are blinded by darkness. Man doesn't know the way. So, because he loves his creation, because he himself has manifested in creation, because of his love, concern, loving concern for the creation, he descends. He descends, he takes a human form, 5 fundamentals, and না বলে এসেছিলে না বলে চলে গেলে সং না তুমি এসেছিলে কাউকে না বলে আরে কাউকে না বলে it is he knows when he has to descend and he has to go. So that means his appearance and Mahaprana defines human mind. We can't understand. Bhavatitang na, the guru that Bhavatitang. He is beyond thinking, beyond intellectuality, beyond imagination, beyond human mind. So, Ista is someone with who, without whom the ideology is not possible. I told you that one who has not seen the path cannot chuck out the path, cannot chatter the path. If I have gone through the jungle, I know this is the path. You go to the dam, then turn this, then you go to that mountain. So since Ista has seen the path, the Guru has seen the path, he can draw the path, he can show the path, you can walk hand in hand with the path. You see, walking the ideology is not a walk with self-effort. This also you should remember. Through self-effort, you cannot traverse the path. Any part you may forget and you may fall down. So, there is a need of Guru, and let us use it in the same way, Ista and Guru, Ista, to hold you when you fall back, or you fall back, or you fall down. So, he is there walking hand in hand. There is a Prabhat Sangeet na, Sakal chalar pathe tumi acho sathe sathe, nirbako abhisranta he ananta. Hey Ananta, you are with me in every walk of life. Every walk, hand in hand. Speechless, unseen, untired. I feel tired. Oh, not more, so much of I cannot do. But he's untired. So there is a need of a blueprint. Ideology is nothing but a blueprint of the movement. Blueprint. But blueprint is not enough. We have to walk the path, and Ista remains as the inspiration. No, Dhruti de Chanda. You see, inspiration and the rhythm is given on the journey. Why is it that the sannyasis stake their whole life? Always I realize how small we are compared to the sacrifice of the sannyasis. Doesn't matter whether they do work or not. That is, sannyasi is doing fasting, 4 times fasting, and the entire life, the family, the job, the prospect. There are many sannyasis who are very enlightened. They could have been much more, very successful, so-called successful life. In the beginning, when I joined the organization, then I was wondering why the sannyasis have left everything for Guru. What is there in the Guru in the beginning? Because my Acharya was perhaps only sannyasi who got IS and gave gave it to father, and he was a lecturer in economics. Then he became a sannyasi. Well, what for? Now if people come to join Anand Marg, there is sufficient reason. Because so many books, so many things, so many structures, so many sannyasis, that can be an inspiration. Think of the Jamalpur days, when Baba was in the office. What made people to leave their hearth and everything to join him? And Baba was a householder, was working in the office. Jamalpur days, early disciples, you see, how great were they? And what attracted them? Difficult to say. This is also mystical. The time when Vijayanandaji, Pranavananda, these all joined, no? What was there in the Vijayananda is a postgraduate in English? What is it that leave everything for him? And what is it that tells even now our sannyasis? No recognition, no money, all uncertainty. But even then, Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba is everything for us. Can you imagine? That is why I always tell my people, our cadres, that you see, if you find a person in sannyasi dress, doesn't matter, never ask. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Sorry, I apologize. I did not put it in silent mode. So, if we find a sannyasi, Odisha, you see, somehow this, we are never affected by anything. Our mind, there is no channel, no divide, nothing. Sannyasi means it deserves our adoration. I remember one day I was Bhakti Pradhan. And Baba took a Bhakti Pradhan meeting. You know where? In front of Baba's quarter. There was a tent, and Baba was in the white lungi, and he came and sat. Then Baba made a stand. So you have taken oath, Baba said. Yes, Baba. Then Baba explained. Dekho, you see, the sannyasis, what is the difference between Margi and Gruhi and sannyasi? Now, Gruhi has two families. One small family, one bigger family. From Baba's mouth, I am telling you. Yes. I am not exaggerating. Because I was there and... But sannyasis have only one family. Only one family. Then he said, you promise that you will treat a sannyasi as a member of your family, his comforts, basic things. As you are worried about your children, your family members, they are also part and parcel. You take the oath, to the best of your ability, you will take care of the workers. Then Baba made the workers stand. Promise that till the last householder is not in peace, you don't have a right to take rest. Because there was one family, that is custom family. All the workers took, including GS. You are like the driver in an engine. If the driver sleeps, the safety of all passengers is at stake. Baba said, if the sannyasis do not count on you, on what they will count? So it becomes the... No, Baba, in Pataliputra colony after release, Baba said, what I am saying to you, it is not for you, it is for the whole humanity. At that time, recording was not done in 78. Ramananda was the PA, Sankarananda was there, Baba was very annoyed. He asked us, we were 15, 20 people. Tell me, my children, what I am saying today, is it recorded yesterday? No, Baba. No, why it is not recorded? I was terribly unhappy. Am I saying it only for 15, 20 people or for the whole humanity? Baba, for whole humanity. Why they have not recorded? Baba even avoided going with Ramananji. So Sankarananji just crouched his ear, Baba holding and going there. Since that time there is recording. Next evening there is recording. It happens, we are human beings, sometimes we are. So what Baba told us, every margi, this message should go to every margi. Their dress, their food, their basic comforts, it is our bounden duty to take care of them. Because they are part of our family members. So Baba, we are talking of ideology. Now, when Ista comes with a mission, that mission has his, Param Purusha's mission becomes the mission of all those who are part of the ideology. And the ideology is expression of Ista, because Ista is personal, mind you. Ista is personal. But when Ista expresses himself, spells out the mission, that is impersonal. Naivaktika. The ideology, Adarsha is Naivaktika, because anyone and everyone can walk on the path and try to make. But the relationship between everyone who tries to translate the ideology and Ista is a personal relationship. Supposing the Adarsha is not there, Ista would have come. Ista would have come. Would read his philosophy, would read about that, but it will still in the level of idea. So Ista is Adarsha is nothing but a rational explanation of what Ista is. What our beginning is, what goal is. So Ista who gives the ideology, the ideological journey, tell Dada to... So the ideological journey, where does it culminate? That culminates in Ista. So the beginning and end of the journey is Ista. Ista is there in the beginning, who gave us the roadmap to walk on the path, and when you walk on the path, the end is realization of the Ista. So that one is expressed in main form of that blueprint. He is there who prepares the blueprint, comes down, walks the path, shows the path, tells us how to walk the path. Then maybe apparently he disappears. We think that apparently he disappears, he is not there. But he is invisibly there, even if not a physical body, he is there. And at the end of the journey, everyone who walks on the path realizes him the same Ista. So he is in the beginning, he is in the end. And he, it says, Prabhat Sangitna, Tumi Prabhu Patha, Tumi Patheya. You are the path, you are the means, you are the goal. This is the meaning of Avanam Kevalam. Param Purusha, the Supreme Father, is the path, is the goal, and is the path. Is the path because he himself has expressed himself or conceptualized his mission in form of ideology. So ideology is an impersonal expression of the personal, that is Ista. Without ideology, Ista will remain a purely personal entity. So the personal becomes impersonal in form of the ideology. Now, Ista is there, Adarsha is given. Will you reach the goal? No. There has to be effort. There has to be effort to walk the path. Now, how to make this effort? The organized effort is Samgha. You get this link, this connect. Without Ista, without Adarsha, Ista remains a personal factor, myself and God. But when Ista comes, Ista, his mission, it verbalizes, gives a rational explanation, that is our Adarsha. So without Ista, because Ista gives Adarsha, without Ista, Adarsha is not possible. And without Adarsha, Ista becomes a personal entity. So the personal becomes impersonal when Ista gives the Adarsha. But that is not enough. That is again a level of theory. We understand what is Ista, we understand what is the right path to the, but we have to walk the path. Now to walk the path, there is another thing he said, if you are walking the path, when human beings, lesser mortals are walking the path towards the goal, yes, goal I have to go, but I have to have sufficient food to walk the path, to sustain my hunger, to address my hunger. That means, while making an effort to go to the to the goal, and the goal has to be achieved by everyone. This is a personal attainment, but not, this journey is not personal. Because I have a family, I have a society, I have handicaps, constraints, dogmas, and so many things. So if I walk the path, I cannot ignore the conditions on the way. So subjective evolution through objective adjustment. Time and again Baba said, you have to have santulana with the external world, because the ideological living is in the practical world. You cannot ignore the practicalities of life. And Ista, after giving Adarsha, he also guides the journey. So he is not only by showing the path to ultimate goal, not only is a spiritual master, he is also Samaj Guru. He has to be. Because how to make the journey? There are many constraints, there are many handicaps, dogmas, exploitative systems, superstitions, selfishness of man, cruelties of man. Some look like human beings that they're more dangerous than it. Think of the people who chopped off 17 sannyasis, brutalized them, even Didis. Think of the person who in the Anandnagar took out the tongue of Asimanandji, Baba Babulcho. Just imagine, they are also human beings. Human appearance. But if you want to walk the path, you have to take care of it. You want to walk the path, somebody stands on the way. No reason, nothing. So how to walk the path? You want to walk the path, but you don't have food. 80% of the people are hunger stricken. There is absolute inequality. How to overcome inequality? Get proud. Dogma no more number. Then he says that if you want to walk the path, if man, you have to progress, go to destination, you cannot ignore the existence of flora and fauna, because you are more dependent on them than depend on you. What is new humanism? Ista is reminding us of the interconnectedness and interdependence of the whole creation. New humanism, Vistara Sarvati, this is Tattva. This is Tattva. But the fact is that we are all disconnected. We fight in our caste, color, creed, religion, gender. How can you go? Because ours is a collective journey. I am not the only man. I have to go with my family, I have to go to the society which is corrupt, exploitative. How to go about it? How to walk the path? Saying that this is the path is not enough. He has to walk hand in hand. We cannot walk, that is why he has to come. So he has to guide the ideological march. And while guiding the ideological march, there are so many constraints. So how to overcome the constraints? There has to be again a blueprint. What is social philosophy? What is economic philosophy? What should be the nature of the production? Production should be consumption oriented. They're profit oriented. Purchasing power. These are the, I'm not going to the details. The world is diverse. So there is a need of compartmentalization. Think globally, act locally. The Samaj movement, the spirit of Samaj movement. So he has to guide in gearing our social life, political life. What should be the nature of the world government, Magna Carta? What is the nature of language? What is the nature of education? So all these things have to be, if any of the thing is missing, then our journey becomes incomplete, the ideology becomes incomplete. When Sadguru comes, Gurus also come, they are different type. They show the some paths. Beyond that, you are again in wilderness. But when Sadguru comes, he gives a complete path. The ideology has to be complete. Otherwise, the ideological march will be disturbed. Subjective approach to objective is a very great thing. On this, volumes can be written. What is objective adjustment? Your social life has to be free from social discriminations, caste discriminations, higher and lower. Your economic life has to be tempered by sense of welfare, concern for the other. Because what is Tattva? This is a cosmic patrimony, cosmic property. What is the basic fundamental of crowd? That the wealth of the world, be it mundane, supramundane, that is my patrimony. Just as in joint family, every man has a fair share, everyone should have fair share. You do not create fundamental elements. The elements are there, factors are there. So how can some intelligent people try to have a greater share of it, lion's share of it? No accumulation. Because if you accumulate, the others are deprived. Why not accumulation? Because accumulation is against the social sentiment. What is social sentiment? Concern for the other. Is in a family, the mother cannot take some niceties or dainties, ignoring the children. She feels that, oh, they should take fast. The other fast. That is the spirit of new humanism. What happens? Now when it says, I am the end, everything is a means, whether it is a family disintegrate. Husband will say, whatever I earn, I have a lion's share in it. It cannot be harmonious family. So, it is for you, my children, right? Therefore, why will say it is for you all? So there is a sense of sacrifice, sense of live and let live. That is the spirit of new humanism. So the ideology in order to be complete has to show. So there are different parts of the ideology. Walking the path doesn't mean, you see, how to walk. Suppose there is a hump. Somebody has to teach you how to apply brake and, clutch. There are holes. अरे आप 10 मिनट कहे हो तो okay 10 minutes okay so there are different facets of the ideology, different parts of the ideology. The socio-economic blueprint, the blueprint about sadhana. What does he say? There are 3 kinds of sadhana, and he shows the limitations of 2 kinds. There is Vamachar sadhana and Dakhinachar sadhana. Dakhinachar sadhana is the Vedic way. It is a way of praying, eulogizing, and trying to invoke the grace only. Less stress on effort, self-effort. Vamachar sadhana ignores the, he said, I can achieve everything by my effort, snatching away powers from the nature. Goal is same, but here exclusive stress on self-effort, here stress on prayers and eulogies, but Madhyamachar sadhana, which Baba has given, tries to get the best of the 2. There is a need of self-effort and there is a need of invoking his grace, because self-effort is necessary but not enough. Self-effort is necessary but not enough because we are limited. We have to invoke his grace. Tavo karunaye, tavo preranaye, tomari pathe pari chalite. You walk the path, you know that you are walking the path, but you are conscious that, oh Lord, by your grace I am walking the path, not only through my self-effort. So Vamachara and Dakshinachara. So in spirituality he has given a path, chatte path. In socio-economic sphere, because the human life is multifaceted. As reality is multifaceted, human life is a multifaceted. Man has an economic life, man has a political life too. Concept is nature of the election. Selective electoral model of voting, formation of electoral college, with the higher camera and lower camera, bi-camera system, world government, world without boundaries, but presence of militia is necessary. He has given, if you just look at the blueprint, tidbits he has given. If there is a need of militia, why there is a need of militia? Military. What is the nature of the world language? What is the nature of education? Even Baba has, ideal farming unit. You cannot imagine. After we are gone, the future humanity cannot believe that how in a short lifetime he gave everything about everything. Not that we are Anand Margis who are trying to make much of our guru. No, it's not like that. Objectively, see. Even he has given the name of the soap. Be clean, be sweet. Name of the soaps. Chitkeshan was telling that the names are given. Baba, did you have time to give the name of the soaps? All big trees are planted no tree could be planted without his direction. Where it will be planted? Baba's direction. He built the organization brick by brick. Slept for 2 hours. Told Vijayananda, do you know? I sleep for 2 hours. Work for 22 hours. If my children sleep for 22 hours and work for 2 hours, then also my mission will be established. That means we are not working for 2 hours even. बुझीपार कि नहीं बाबा तुम जान तो बाबा जो 12टा बेले शोया को जाती 2टा बेले पुणी कॉलिंग बेल बजे दीदी मैंने कहते बाबा दीदी मैंने बर्तमान जाइए आसिए कौट बर्तमान ना ठीक है. You might be thinking that Baba is sleeping for 12 to 5. No. One story from Pranavananda. Pranavananda was temporarily made, not temporarily, was a bona fide PA for a few months. Pranavananda, one of the very devoted, very strict, very unpsychological, because everyone used to be afraid of Pranavananda. He is the fourth Avadut. Pranavananda used to sleep just like, in front of Baba's door, in that mat, no. Baba was very angry with him because of that. Too much of love. You give it too much of love, then you feel suffocated, isn't it? So Baba was very, no. But even then, Pranavananda was, you can say, he was a great devotee high watermark. Pranavananda told me, sometimes I came and he was PRS and he said one day at 1:30 in the night, after everyone went to sleep, there is a big sound in Baba's room. Big sound, many people are talking. Prananda was surprised. Who could be in Baba's room? Who could be in Baba's room? Okay. Then he wanted to open the room. But he is forbidden that no one can open the room unless Baba calls him by the calling bell. No one can open. It is not locked from inside, but no one can enter. Prananda was, terrible and fear-stricken. Big sounds, big things are falling in Baba's room. And so many people are talking. So, in the morning at 4:45, there is a calling bell for PA, first one. When he entered, Baba, you are all right? Now why? Baba said, "Kaun lagi?" Then with a subdued voice, Baba, last night there was a lot of things falling on your big, very heavy things. And Baba is saying, are you thinking of opening the door or what? So, never commit that mistake. No, Baba. But he was confused. So he went out. Again Baba called. Because he had a confusion. Baba wanted that his confusion. Then Baba said, Prananda, when you people go to sleep, the luminous bodies come. I have given some duties to them. And you should not come because their appearance, everything, you cannot stand the sight. Never commit that mistake. That means we are thinking that we are working to translate the ideology, but there are luminous bodies. It is pronounced in one words, I am telling you. Because these are, whenever I see a sannyasi, I always say, what is your experience, Baba? Tell us something. He said, there is another supportive incident. Some dadas are going for Kapalik sadhana in the Ganga for sannyasis, and all of a sudden, opposite side, a hefty sannyasi with a flowing hair, no turban, but with this dress, he was coming. Then he all of a sudden stopped. Hey, you are sons of Anandamurti? Yes. Then you see him every alternate month, but I have not seen him last 15 years. There was throat got choked, and he immediately passed off. It was dark night, Amavasya day. They came to reporting. They came to Baba. Baba, we had this. We met somebody, but it was all dark. But he said, you have seen. You are seeing. You are seeing Baba every alternate month, but I am unfortunate that I have not seen him last 15 years. When Baba smiled, said, there are 40 organizations working for you, for a mission. So I said, who are they? If I say, you will not work. Such things happened another time in Jamalpur. Baba made a graph. He said, here is gold, here is oil. Then Baba tore it. So if I tell you this, then thousands of scientists and engineers lose their job. Baba said the earth has enough resources, more than enough to sustain the humanity. Baba then they give a piece of paper. Baba said, you see, here is gold. At this point, there is of sufficient oil which will last for 100 years. The coal last for 200 years. Just pointed out coal like that. Give a graph. Enough. Nature has given you enough. But you people do not know how to make the best use of it. That is why I have given proud. And Baba give that. Now if I give, Baba immediately tore it. If I say this, they are scientists and the technologists, and they are employed to do the excavations to find, and they must make a part. So all that I have been trying to tell is this, that the ideology is a whole. It has again different parts which have been meticulously chalked out by Guru. So you know how to walk on the path of sadhana, how to manage yourself in your economic life, the political life, what political life should be, what should be the relationship between male and female, what is the status of women, what is the nature of the dogmas, and so even in his, in Jamalpur days also, how he was critical of the Brahminical exploitation, how he was also critical of the untouchability. That those stories are there, and he was argued with his mother, that mother, this casteism will go one day. This is only your dream. No, it is, and later on she realized, yes, this is going to happen. So this Ista and Adarsha, but Adarsha, he has given a blueprint of proud. Let us say, he has given a blueprint for the Samaj movement. He has become a blueprint for Ek Manav Samaj, PCAP, prevention cruelty to animals and plants. But this will remain in an ideology without there are cadres, there are people to implement it, execute it. That is why there is need of a Samgha. There is a need of an organization. And in the organization, what are the Baba's instruction? First thing is, what is the note? There are many things which are not published in the New Renanza, which Shambhu Shivananda published. There are some books. How to unite human society. Baba says there are differences of colors, but we should stress upon only the points of commonality. Great heritage. Tell about people who are great seers and saints. They will be proud of their heritage. One common heritage, cultural heritage. So you should, when you build a society, you should capitalize on the common points, common aspirations, values, fundamental values, universal values, cardinal values. So he has given how to form a society, how to have an economic system, political system, how to have a dogma-free society. So in this way you can say, Ista is impersonal, personal, it has become impersonal in the form of ideology, and it becomes translatable into reality through Samgha organization. And that is why he says that the greatest treasure of going together is the node. He said it contains the ideal of the Vedic bhar, Sangha Chadhung, Sangha Badadhung, which we have a common. Society is not togetherness of individuals. Elephants also live together. Sheep also live together. But commonness of values and ideals, common aspirations that keep us together. That is not only true of society, but also, so first of all, we should establish it in the organization. We are one. Our Ista is one. Ista of whole humanity is one. Ideology is not different. People may try to take time to understand the ideology. It's a universal ideology. And we are there to implement the ideology. Therefore, we should have absolute cohesion and unity. And you know, there's a great story that when you try to, because Param Purush is expressed through the ideology. Any harm to the ideology, anything that we do to jeopardize the ideology hurts the Ista. Because Ista is not abstract, he is expressed through the ideology. So we should, if you love our Guru, then we should not do anything, we should do everything possible to promote the ideology, and we should refrain from doing anything which disturbs the ideology, which disturbs the flow. By that, Param Purush is hurt. What will happen if Param Purush is an abstract thing? Prakriti is hurt. Shakti Shiva Shakti. Prakriti is Param Purush's works. So when any injury, and you go unideological way, Prakriti will give you punishment, will not spare you. Prakriti is not inanimate. She works at the behest of Param Purusha. So Prakriti will intervene. And lastly, we should remember that we are just peanuts, we are just cogs in the wheel. If we do or not, the entity who is managing the stars, galaxies, such big, galaxies and stars, how big is the sun? Earth is just a speck. It's not visible from the sun. When they try to take photograph from outer part of the solar system, Earth is not visible. And just imagine how small we are. So the entity do you think that ideology must be established? I've heard from Vijayanandji, Baba's body was there in that ice cube, and Vijayanandji was talking to me in that, he said, Aditya, one day, I don't know, later on he was relating why Baba is saying this. He says, how many letters you have covered? Oh, only this much. I don't have time. Vijayananda said that I could not know why Baba is saying I don't have time. Then one day he called Vijayananda, because somehow he loves me very much, so he tells everything with the conversation with Baba. Then he said, the humanity is crying, there is bleeding. They are waiting for such an ideology. If you do not work now, the humanity has to wait for 100 years. Vijayananda, after 100 years, your sannyasis will not be required. Because this ideology is the only survival option for the humanity. They will take books from the Almirah, they will ransack the Almirah, they will take the ideas, they will implement. Then your intervention will be marginal. You have to now wake up. This is a wake-up call for you, and you should. This word in a day. He said, now you have to come out of something like Baba said, and that is very significant. He told Vijayananda, at least you know that I sleep for 2 hours and work for I work for 22 hours and sleep for 2 hours. If my children sleep for 22 hours, work for 2 hours, then also my mission will be established. My mission will be established. And the last thing to my Acharya, for all sannyasis also here, Subhatvananda, the Anandanagar it took place, I was also there. That day also he was messaging Baba. It was very late evening. Baba said, Subhatvananda, do you know one thing? My mission is done. I need few people to unveil it. My mission is done. Mission is complete. We are worried about it. It is his work. আমরা কি করব? What shall we do? We should do our bit. Dada will do his bit, Shiksha will do his bit, Didis will do it. As Margis also, we should do our bit. Why should we worry about the? Yeah, it is his mission. He knows how to settle it. And one who is controlling the, you don't know, Baba is not an ordinary Guru Bhai. Baba is Param Purush. You read his books, this Science of Letters, you will know, he knows everything about all remote intellect, dialects. He is Param Purush. We are fortunate. His Ayati Krupa, you came to know, but we do not know him. We do not know him really. So he said, Swatananda, my mission is done. I need few people to unveil it. What does it mean? That means you have to keep, to the best of our ability, we have to do our work. So Samgha is important. Baba said, now you have to wake up and humanity is waiting for you. For this, we need united effort. That is why Samgha Chadwang is our motto. Our ideological motto is Samgha Chadwang. How do we conclude? Baba is everywhere. We mechanically do it. And we feel that unity is our requirement. We have to preserve unity. And Guru is everywhere. Why should we worry? Why should we worry? Instead of worrying, we should try to understand. Let us not look at each other. Who is doing what? We have to have single-mindedness and pray him that everyone should say that make me a good instrument to do your mission. That's all we can do. Maybe one lifetime is not enough. Such a big ideology, one type of lifetime is not enough. So maybe several lives will take. But let us pray, Baba, we should be born again and again to do his work. Namaskar.